Thank you. Good evening, everyone. There's a reason I've selected this topic again today to talk about the subconscious mind. Many people have the best access to medication, nutrition, lifestyle, but that one emotion of fear, that one emotion of denial can sometimes be the obstacle towards us actually moving forward. I've selected 5 simple tools that I want to teach each and every one of you on how you can help manage fear better, how we can move from denial to acceptance, and why it's even important to do that. Can we move to the first slide, please? Whenever there's a diagnosis of cancer, and even if someone doesn't have this condition today, it could be anything. It could be an autoimmune condition. It could be diabetes, whatever it is. A diagnosis can bring shock, fear, and often denial. What do we mean by denial? Like, how could this happen to me? Sometimes someone could think that I've been fit all my life. I've eaten vegetarian food. I've meditated every day. So when these things happen to us, we often move. It's a natural state to move into denial. Like, how could this happen to me? Because it's a natural coping mechanism. It's okay when we move into denial, but staying there too long can actually block emotional healing as well as physical healing. Today, we'll move through simple exercises on how to move towards acceptance, because mostly we cannot achieve any peace or any healing in life if we're still stuck in denial. It's not only with a disease or a condition. Think about you're working in a job where you don't really like it. You've not accepted that this is the job I like. So every day you go to work in a state of resistance. And it never ends up to be the best day, day after day, because you're always in a state of resistance, which is in a state of disharmony. But when you accept that, hey, this may not be the greatest job, but I need to be here for a while until I find something better, then you move to a state of acceptance, and each day at work becomes a little bit better. So today we're going to learn how to move to that state of acceptance, not as just surrender, but as strength. We look at hope, empowerment, and purpose. The next slide, please. When we're in denial, it's always important to understand the why and the what. What happens when we're in denial? The mind and the body are in resistance. They can be in resistance to anything, to food, to medicine, to the support that your family members may be giving you, to opportunities that may be coming in front of you, but we're so stuck in resistance that we can't see them. So it's extremely important to understand that there is disharmony, and healing always becomes harder. The one thing we need to establish right now for everyone who missed my previous session on cancer, we can call any disease a medical term, a fancy term, but at the end of the day, the truth is every cancer has started off as an imbalance in a cell. Now, you can call it a mutation, you can call it a genetic mutation, whatever it is that you want. But in simple, plain English, it is an imbalance at a cellular level. When we have an imbalance in a cell, treatment can now revolve around the kind of medicine you take, the treatment you take, the kind of food that you eat. But the most important fundamental for healing is, how do I bring back balance to a body where there is imbalance? Imbalance is disharmony. Balance is harmony. So that's why we're trying to move from a state of being in disharmony to a state of being in harmony. Of course, I'm going to give you all the simple tools that we can use, simple to understand, not really difficult to do, easier when we practice it. What else happens in a state of denial? There is fear, uncertainty, and emotional chaos takes over. I want everyone to think of now, reflect, at any point in your life, think of any decision that you made from a space of fear. Think of any action that you took from a space of fear. Was it the best consequence for you? Was it the best result in life? Fear is an emotional signal. It's fantastic. We need it. But it is only a signal. It is not the prognosis. It is not the verdict. It is not that final report card. When we get fearful of something, It's an emotion that is guiding us to take some particular action. Most of us usually take the action of worrying more, being more anxious, overthinking the problem over and over again, rehearsing the diagnosis over and over again when we know it's not going to get us anything. The diagnosis is in place, the treatment is decided. Giving any more thought to these two doesn't serve you in any way. It drains you of energy, the same energy that every cell in your body now needs for recovery, for protection, for support during your treatment. So we talk a little bit more about fear, but right now the only understanding I want, don't try to get rid of fear. You can't. It's a beautiful emotion. It helps us to select the right actions if we're mindful to take those actions. But some of us become victims to fear. Some of us allow fear to create stories and illusions that may never, ever come true. I want you to now think again of all the things that you feared in life. How much of it really came true in your life? You may want a moment to think about that. Next slide, please. Now, why does denial happen? Like I said, we're all human. It's going to happen to everyone. For some people, for a few minutes. For some people, many, many weeks. We're all different people. We're all different people with different emotional sets, different ways of handling stress, different mindsets to perceive what the problem could be. And that's why the results can be different for every one of us. It doesn't mean if someone comes out of denial faster, they're stronger than someone who doesn't. Why does denial happen? Number one, the fear of mortality or losing control. One of our human deepest fears of a human is losing control of someone or something. We feel we're losing control, we get overwhelmed, we get anxious, we get angry, we move into denial. Many states of anger are states of denial. We're losing control of the situation or someone, so anger creeps in and we use it as a shield. Denial also happens when we're feeling overwhelmed with the implications, for example, of the treatment, or no, my life is going to change, my work is going to change. So we get overwhelmed with the possible changes that may happen. An identity threat. When we get hit with a disease, oh no, I'm no longer healthy. Will I become a burden to someone? What's going to change in my work life? What's going to change in my home life? What's going to change in my marriage? So this becomes a threat to our identity. Then uncertainty about the future, which is mostly everyone's fear, whether you have a disease or not. What's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to my family? What's going to happen to my body? What's going to happen to my hair, to my skin? These are all real fears. You can feel them. Then, of course, we have fears like pain, side effects, or a stigma that comes along with the condition. Acceptance becomes the first step towards peace and action. No healing can thoroughly happen in a body that does not have a state of calm and peace. We heal in the parasympathetic nervous system. It is rest, digest, and repair. We are not healing in the sympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is fight and flight and freeze. It's got certain functions that can help us survive. But in the parasympathetic nervous system, that is where the healing happens. The fundamental part of any recovery plan or healing for any individual is, how can I establish a state of calm? I can be stressed, but how quickly can I come back to calm? I can have fearful thoughts, but how quickly do I come back to calm, or some actions that I can take to diffuse the fear? So acceptance is the first step. I've gone through denial. I now have to reach the state of acceptance. Next slide, please. Before we move on to the exercises, I want everyone to have a notepad and pen right now. We're going to do this exercise right now. I can easily give you this exercise to do later, but I believe in the power of now. So we're going to do it right now. Okay, the exercise is up there. You need to do this exercise to actually understand the techniques I'm going to teach you as we move through. I want you to write down 3 or 5 things that instantly make you feel good. What comes to your heart or your mind first? Example, it could be a smile from a loved one. Who is that loved one? Could be a favorite song. Write down that song. A moment in your life where you felt strength or joy. It could be something that someone said to you that you're the most amazing person. You've changed my life. And it makes you just feel so good about yourself. This is a feel-good list. Many of you may struggle with this. You may think that, oh no, it's not coming instantly to me. And that's why it's a good exercise for always, all of us to have this list ready. I want you to make that list right now. Anything or anyone that you instantly think of, and it can make you feel warm in your heart. It can make you feel strong. It can make you feel like you've accomplished something. I want you to make that list right now. I'll give you a couple of minutes for that. It could be the smile of your child. It could be a memory, something your parents said to you. You could even just write down it's a memory of a hug, how you felt in someone's arms. Whatever makes you feel good. It could be a cup of coffee. It could be watching a sunset. It could be your favorite place in the world that whenever you're there, you just feel so connected and so good. Some people will have this instantly come up in their heart and mind. Some people we'll have to think about, and that's okay. And that's why we need to do this exercise. Let's move to the next slide, please. All right, before we get into the exercises, you need to understand the power of your subconscious mind. Over the last couple of years, we've worked with age groups across cancer. And what we need to understand is the role of the subconscious mind. Your mind plays one of the most powerful drugs in cancer management and the outcome of your treatment. Till date, I have 2 distinct categories of people going through treatment. Category 1 that takes chemotherapy or radiation or goes through their treatment with fear, with distress, and very, very different outcomes. And then I have a category of people who we've accepted it. This is the treatment. And they say, this is what I'm going to go through. Happy mind, positive mind. We'll face what comes along the way. Completely different outcome. This strength to choose that mindset comes from the subconscious mind, what you feed it. You see, the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between a truth and a lie. It does not know the difference between fantasy and reality. All this means is we have the power to feed our subconscious mind whatever we want it to believe. So if you want to feed it fear, that, oh no, I Googled the symptoms, I'm going to lose my hair, I'm going to get IBS, I'm going to have this, my cancer may come back. Your subconscious mind is just taking that and planting it like little seeds. Remember, it doesn't know the difference between truth and a lie, fantasy and reality. Now, your conscious mind knows everything. It can judge. It can feel fear. Your subconscious mind doesn't know anything about fear. It doesn't. So you need to understand that how can I program my subconscious mind to work for me? I have so many individuals going through chemotherapy who do this little visualization. They visualize, they already know the side effects of chemotherapy. They've Googled it, their doctors have spoken about it, their friends have spoken about it. But we do this little visualization where we may make them imagine what they want the chemotherapy to be while it's going into their body. So some of them imagine it as a liquid going in, and there are little soldiers, the immune system going and killing the cancer, growing their hair, making their liver stronger. Some of them look at the liquid as a nectar, a healing nectar that's just going across their body, wiping them out of the cancer. Use your mind. Be creative, because your subconscious mind will only believe what you put into your mind over and over again. So we have clients and individuals who are visualizing the chemotherapy, growing their hair, killing the cancer, making them healthier, doing the opposite. Then the conscious mind will come and say, but that's a lie. Google said this is the side effect of chemo. And your conscious mind will always battle with you because that is your logical, irrational, linear mind, emotional mind. But the subconscious mind will only believe what you repeatedly tell it or think about it. Let's quickly go back to brushing your teeth. Can I motivate anyone today to stop brushing their teeth? No. Why? Can you motivate yourself to stop brushing your teeth? You can't. Why? Because it's in your subconscious mind. How did it get into your subconscious mind? Your mom and dad telling you to brush your teeth and repetition, you doing it. Brush your teeth in the morning, brush your teeth at night. Every single day, repetition, repetition, repetition. Today, you wake up and it's a subconscious action. You don't have to say, oh, I have to go pick up the toothbrush. And driving is a subconscious activity. Once you learn it and you keep doing it, it's a subconscious activity. So that's an example of your subconscious mind. Now, fear and uncertainty are the most common and toughest emotional blocks. Now, let's not talk about cancer at this particular point. Every human has a fear of uncertainty. Why? Because we can't control it. We're not fearful of things that we can control. We're not fearful of people that we can control. So in a very dominating relationship where a man or a woman controls one or another, there is no fear because the person who's controlling someone feels I'm in control. The moment the partner starts to say, I'm no longer scared of you, the dominant person starts to get more vicious and angry, may get physical, may turn narcissist, may have narcissist qualities. Why? Because they now feel a loss of control. Every human fears uncertainty because we want to be in control. But the bitter, ugly truth is none of us are in control of the future, and none of us will ever be in control of the future. So what does that teach us? We need to learn to embrace uncertainty. It doesn't mean we can't take actions to plan. I can plan finance. I can plan workouts to prevent an illness. I can plan my meals to eat healthy. I can have a plan of what I want to do when I'm 30, 40, 50, 60. You can influence actions, but you can never, never be certain of anything. That's where the ego and pride comes in. Oh, but I planned it, Luke, and it didn't happen. That's your ego and pride. Whoever said it has to happen according to your plan? Think about that. I am asking everyone to make peace with uncertainty, because the more you're trying to cement certainty in your life, you will find emotions like anxiety, anger, frustration creep in. Why? Because you're trying to control what is impossible. No doctor knows the outcome of your chemotherapy. No nutritionist will ever know the complete outcome of what that nutrition plan is going to do for you. No psychotherapist knows the outcome, the final outcome of what their psychotherapy will do for you. Everyone has an understanding that, hey, this is scientific. If we do this, we can achieve this. There are permutations, combinations. This chemo may work, this may not. We may have to change it. That's it. No one is certain of anything. So it teaches us to embrace uncertainty. So we knock off anxiety, we disable fear to some level, and we only focus on controlling and influencing the actions that are within our control. But so many people have wasted energy, precious energy, trying to control and be in control of uncertainty, that they no longer have the right amount of energy or the mental state to focus on the little actions that they should be taking every day. The subconscious tool, the mind, is like anchoring. We're going to learn certain tools today, and we can move right into that. So the role of the subconscious mind right now, it's very simple. I'm going to go back to a very powerful book written by a psychologist. I don't know how many of you have read it. It's called The Power of Autosuggestion. In the book, he talks about the power of the imagination. You can imagine the worst, you can imagine the best. Your subconscious mind will see both as equal. We can imagine the worst outcome of our treatment. But what do we get out of imagining that? We might as well put all of our energy into imagining the best out of our treatment. We still don't know what's going to be certain. But when you understand this, you will slowly start to practice pushing your energy towards imagining the best in any situation. They're called optimists. And then you have pessimists. No one is in control of what the outcome is, but you would rather imagine the best because your subconscious mind, when you constantly keep doing that, it starts to work for you. So coming back to the book, The Power of Autosuggestion, there's a plank which is just wide enough. Okay. It's about, I think, 8 to 10 inches. I may not be accurate on that. All right. This doctor puts 2 bricks and a plank across 2 bricks, and he tells the participant, walk across. He easily walks across. Then he puts 1 more brick on top and he walks across. He puts 6 more bricks. It's still not higher than him, but he walks across. Then he takes the same plank and he puts it between the top of 2 tall buildings. And the man cannot walk across that plank. But hey, the same size of the plank, he walked across it when it was down. He had no fear about falling. The moment the plank moved to the top of the building, the plank is the same size, the distance is the same, but he doesn't walk across it because of that one emotion, fear. But technically, he should be able to walk across the plank. He didn't fall when he walked across the plank at a lower level. It was a fantastic width for him. But because fear took over the subconscious mind, he couldn't walk. That is the power of fear, and that is the power of the subconscious mind. Now, someone who trains their mind that I just need to walk across the plank, it doesn't matter which height it is, eventually will walk across that plank at the top of 2 skyscrapers. The only difference was the subconscious mind. Let's move ahead, please. Today, we're going to learn 5 key techniques. They're simple. You don't have to do all of them. You may just select one that works for you. Some of you may select 2. Some of you may select all. Some of you may try all and realize that maybe anchoring works the best for me. They're simple techniques. We're going to go through them pretty quickly. Okay, they all align with holistic cancer care or diabetes or autoimmune or whatever it is. It supports you emotionally, physically, spiritually, alongside the treatment and lifestyle changes. In no way is anything I'm telling you today a replacement for your medical advice or a replacement for your lifestyle advice, which involves your sleep, your exercise, and your nutrition. Let's move ahead, please. Reframing. Like I said, I want you to accept that you're in denial. Let's look at an example. Denial says, this isn't real. I can't deal with this. Reframing says, and that's going into your subconscious mind every time, no, I can't do this. I just can't do this. You're reinforcing denial in your subconscious mind. Every time you repeat the negative, it's getting stronger and stronger. Every time you repeat the positive, it's getting stronger and stronger. So we learn to reframe. Denial says, this isn't real. I can't deal with it. How could this happen to me? Reframing says, this is hard, but I know I'm in control of how I respond. Or this is hard. I can deal with this. It's happened to me. I don't know why, but hey, let's move on. I'm going to learn how to reframe. Next slide, please. Write down your current fear-based thought. You don't have to do it now. This is for your homework later. All of you will have different fears. Some will say, example, I can't accept this. What if I lose everything? Someone else will say, I'm just afraid of losing my hair. Someone else will say, I have 2 small children. Someone else will say, I don't have enough money for this treatment. Whatever your current fear-based thought is, all you need to do is first write it down. It could be 1, 2, or 3, doesn't matter. And I'm going to reframe. Example, I can't accept this. What if I lose everything? And we reframe it. What could this diagnosis make possible for me? It's established. When you're in denial, you keep thinking that the problem shouldn't have happened to you, but it's happened. Acceptance means, okay, I got this. Now, what's the next thing I can do? So when you're in acceptance, you can move forward to action. When you're denial, you cannot move to action. You only weigh down with the emotions of denial, which is fear, anxiety, negativity, shame, guilt, resentment, blame, anger. And that becomes stronger and stronger because you're feeling it more and more, and it's growing more and more in your subconscious mind. So I'm just trying to move my current fear-based thought into something that, okay, what's going to be possible through this diagnosis? Now I can focus on action, what truly matters. Next slide, please. If you want to make notes, people, you can just click a picture of it. Okay? We want to try always writing and reframing it a couple of times. Remember, repetition, repetition, repetition. Okay? I want you to add feeling to it. All right? So let's reframe a few more. I have a great team. I'm going to get through this. Some people, I'll surrender this to God. I have to tell you the story. A few days ago, I had this, I think he was about 69 years old, very aggressive stage of cancer. I was talking to him, going through his treatment, going through his lifestyle plan and all of that. And he just seemed so happy. So I like to see if people are not, kind of just coping with denial and trying to show they're happy. So I asked him a couple of questions and I said, so you're pretty happy. You seem to have a very positive mindset about this. He just said one statement that actually grounded me for the rest of the day and made me feel so good. His statement was, hey, Luke, let the doctors do what they want. You please do what you want. I've just surrendered everything to God so I can go to work, I can work, and I can have a good life. That's it. So much of conviction, so much of strength. That was his choice. I'll surrender this to God. And that's working beautifully for him. He's positive, he's calm, he's in harmony, he's in acceptance. He's allowing the doctors to do what they need to do. There's peace and harmony in his life. Will he go through side effects? Maybe. Will he come out of it far better than most people? Because he's not living with fear. He surrendered everything. Okay, someone else may say, my body's asking me to heal, repair and heal. I have so many cancer patients. 2 weeks in their treatment, Luke, I think I know why I got this. I've abused my body. Now it's time for me to start repairing, healing. Some people reframe. Cancer is a tough teacher. This is tough, but it's going to guide me to new strengths. I'm going to discover so many new things about me. So this just helps you to move to action rather than stay in denial. For some people, denial may still be strong. Validate it. It's okay. It's okay to feel this. It's okay to feel that this isn't real yet. It's okay to feel that I can't accept this. It's okay. I want you to validate that feeling, but immediately reframe. I know it's difficult to accept this. Hey, but okay, these are the top 3 things that I think I can do. I have my family to support me. I have a good team. So I want you all to write your fear-based thoughts, and then I want you all to reframe it. Reframe it in the most positive way. And for the first 1 or 2 weeks, you could write this down daily, or you can practice it in your mind. Next slide, please. The second one, this is one of my favorite. You can use it for every aspect of your life. You can use it during chemo, when you're going for radiation, after your surgery, when you're taking any of your tablets or medication, even if you don't have cancer. You can use it in any aspect of your life. This is based on neuroscience. It's based on CBT, NLP, whatever it is. The basic fundamental is neuroscience, neuroplasticity, and how your brain works, where we create an emotional anchor to access inner strength. Like, it's so difficult for us to say, oh, find strength. I have strength. But when fear hits us, pain hits us, it's very difficult for us to access that. So we're going to learn how to anchor. Next slide, please. All right. Now, we've already done the exercise, so this should be easy for you. I want everyone to recall a moment when you felt strong or at peace with yourself, or you felt so good about yourself. You can go back to that list, okay? Listen to the instructions. You close your eyes. I want you to feel it in your body. I want you to feel, is it a sound? Is it an emotion? Was it like the sound of a kiss? Was it the warmth of a hug? Was it the sound of an appreciation? Just close your eyes and I want you to feel that sensation that comes with it. While you're doing that, I want you to take your thumb and your index finger, that's your second finger. Left or right hand doesn't matter, the one that you use the most, dominant, okay? And while you're recalling this moment and feeling the emotion, I just want you to lightly press your thumb and your index finger together and hold it for about 10 seconds while you're feeling and thinking that thought. So go back to that list, whatever it is, recall it, feel it, press your thumb and your index finger together and hold that for about 10 seconds. And then I want you to do it again with the same thought or a different thought, 3 to 5 times. You can do this later now. The thought can be different, the emotion can be different, but it's something that makes you feel good about yourself. Remember, the anchor of our thumb and our index finger is for anything that makes you feel good. Now, tomorrow, you may be in a coffee shop having a beautiful cup of coffee that's making you feel that same good feeling that I'm talking to you about right now. At that moment, I want you to be mindful enough to press your thumb and your index finger again. Maybe you've gone home and someone said something beautiful to you that makes you feel warm again, immediately. Anything that brings that feeling of warmth, of feeling strong, of feeling good, immediately, thumb and index finger, minimum of 10 seconds, feel it. What are we doing over here? Your subconscious mind is now building a neural pathway of when Luke feels good, he presses his thumb and index finger. It's like when Luke wakes up in the morning, he goes and takes his toothbrush and brushes his teeth. Each time you keep doing this, you got your PET scan, your doctor said, hey, you're in remission. It's a fantastic PET scan. Hey, your chemo worked really good. You feel good, thumb and index finger together. Now, anytime fear creeps into you, your next chemo cycle's tomorrow, something's happened in your life, something's happened in your relationship, something that doesn't make you feel good. It brings the feeling of fear or negativity, whatever it is. All I want you to do is press your thumb and your index finger together. Now what's going to happen? Immediately, subconscious mind. When Luke presses his thumb and index finger together, you are going to slowly start to create that feeling of goodness, not directly, but it'll start off in your subconscious mind and in your mind and eventually translate to your body without you even having to think that warm thought or that strong thought. It's like the simple experiment of a dog and a bell. Each time the bell rings, the dog starts, thinks it's food time. They've been trained that way. The dog is given food and then someone rings the bell. It's done continuously. After a while, anyone rings the bell, the dog thinks it's time for food. Subconscious mind. You're not the dog over here, but the subconscious mind is similar. So this is one of the most powerful practices at a subconscious level. It's called anchoring. So now you collect more and more good moments. You wake up in the morning feeling amazing today, thumb and forefinger together, index finger, at least 10 seconds. Feel it. I love this feeling. I'm feeling energetic. After a while, it'll become a neural pathway in your subconscious mind. It's not going to take away extreme physical pain, but guess what's happening at a cellular level and at a subconscious level in your mind? It's going to help you get through that. So this is an extremely powerful exercise. I would want you to practice it. See, any subconscious mind training will work on the principle of practice, 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 repetition, repetition, repetition. You put on a new chemo drug. You go home and Google it, or someone says, oh, Luke, this chemo drug's bad. Side effects are really bad. Immediately, press the two fingers together. One will make you mindful. Two, you're like, okay, I got this. Because your subconscious mind will immediately create you internally with a feeling of feeling good. Your problem's still in front of you. That's all not going to change. But what's going to happen is the change within you. Next slide, please. Let's move to the next step. This is another of my favorite, works like magic, visualization. You can still visualize the life that you want, the outcome of your treatment, how your hair is going to grow, how the chemo is going to work, how you want to be 10 years down, just by using the power of your mind. Is it guaranteed? No, nothing's guaranteed in life. Is it worth it? Absolutely yes. Because what are you getting out of visualizing the worst? Probably the worst, because visualization and manifestation are directly connected. What do you get out of visualizing the positive? Everything, maybe. Unless your fate is written, which we have no control over. That's uncertainty, but we're learning to embrace it. We're not in control of it. Leave it in the dark side of the room. There's nothing you can do about it. Put light on where the action is. Next slide, please. This is how you do simple visualization, which every one of you can do before you sleep tonight. Just center yourself. Could take a minute. 3 deep breaths, a 6-second inhale, or a 5-second, a 6-second exhale through your nostril. Center yourself, relax. I'm giving you prompts now. You can imagine yourself, visualize 6 to 12 months from now. Visualize yourself walking with your daughter, with your friends, with your family. You're on a holiday. Don't even look at the cancer. Just visualize, because I have many people who still have the cancer 6 to 12 months later. But guess what? They're living with it. They're traveling. They're with their children. They're living their best life. So we don't want to visualize, I want my cancer gone. No, I want you to visualize growth. I want you to visualize that I'm living my best life. My PET scans come, whether it's good or bad, I'm living my best life. You can also visualize that the PET scan's clean. You can also visualize that the PET scan's not clean, you're still living your best life. It is you who has the power to create the movie script that you want. Every real movie that you've watched first started off as an idea in someone's subconscious mind. Then it was written into a physical script and made into a movie. It started with visualization. So now you've closed your eyes. You're imagining you're on a holiday. You're traveling. Your energy, I want you to now feel it. I'm energetic. Wow, I did that trek. I'm eating my favorite foods. I have strength to run up. I'm waking up with the sun. I want you to add feelings, step into that vision. So if it's like a holiday in Switzerland, imagine you're in the Alps, you're walking, you're eating a fresh apple. I want you to build it. Now your mind may come in, fear, but Luke, it's a cancer. It's okay. What? Still go ahead and visualize. It is extremely important for you to understand visualization. Okay? What is one small action that I can take today? Whenever you feel that fear coming in, just ask yourself, what is that one action I can take? Okay, let me eat one healthy meal. Let me call a friend. Let me just settle down and do 2 minutes of deep pranayama. Let me settle down and visualize. Okay, there's a fear right now. It doesn't look nice. It's making me feel horrible. And then the fear pops out and, hey, you're out, you're playing, you're doing something fun. A lot of people will say, but Luke, that's toxic positive. No, we're not in the conscious mind anymore. We're in the subconscious mind, where your subconscious mind does not know the difference between a truth and a lie, and between imagination, fantasy, and reality. That's why placebos work. Placebos are real. Every pharmaceutical drug that you buy had to have a placebo before it reached the pharmacy, because placebos work. So now you make your mind a placebo by feeding it what you want it to believe. It's as simple as that. If you go in with a placebo that the chemotherapy is going to do this to me, it's going to do that. That's called a nocebo. A nocebo is when we put a negative self-talk into our brain. Oh no, this is going to happen to me. You just put that into your subconscious mind. So you make it into a placebo that, hey, this is actually going to do the opposite of it. Chemo is going to make me strong. You'll say, but I'm lying to myself, Luke. I'm feeling weak. That's your conscious mind. Rational, irrational, linear, logical, fear, emotion. You want to be playing in your subconscious mind. So it's not toxic positive. Toxic positive is if you're feeling fearful, but you go and tell everyone, I'm strong, but inside you're so fearful. That's toxic positivity. I'm happy, I'm so happy, but inside you're so sad. That's toxic positivity. So visualization for even just 3 minutes a day. Visualize while you're getting chemo. Visualize while you're waiting for your doctor. Visualize while you're eating a healthy meal, that this meal is just going to feed every cell in my body. Bring visualization in all these little actions. Your water that you're drinking, you can visualize that every glass of water is just cleansing your body, boosting your immune system, reducing inflammation. It's your subconscious mind. That's your creative, authentic self. You give it the script. Now, most people will say, but Luke, what if it doesn't happen? And what if it does happen? We're not in control, right? What if it doesn't happen? If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. What if it happens? Wow. Which side of the fence would you want to be on? Next slide, please. The next technique, the sub-modality shift. Okay, this helps us to reduce the emotional charge of fearful images. Like every time you see the hospital, every time you see a needle, every time you're walking through the hospital and you see other patients suffering, all of these can charge our emotions more and more. So we have a simple subconscious exercise, again, based on neuroscience, NLP, and different modes of shifting. Let's move to the next slide, please. All right. So I want you to picture now a scary thought about, or an image about the condition you have. I see so many names on this, and I know they all don't have cancer. A lot of my other individuals who I treat are on this call, and I'm happy to see you there. Now, what is that fearful thought that comes with your condition? Well, let's not take a condition. What's your fearful thought that comes about a person? Any person. Okay? Just think, is it big? Is it scary? Is it dark? Is it colorful? What is it? Just close your eyes. Is it a hospital? Is it gloomy? Is it scary? There are loud sounds all the time. I just want you to put that little image in it. Okay? Usually, it'll be the image of a person. If it's a relationship problem, it'll be the image of a person. If it's someone who caused you pain, it'll be the image of that person. Okay? Once you have that image, or whether it's the person itself, now we're going to move into the sub-modality training. Okay? So now let's take an example of, let me try to give you a valid example of, I have a PET scan in front of me. It's a 4th stage metastatic pancreatic cancer. Not too many treatments available medically, not much that you can do with nutrition and lifestyle. Okay? The PET scan looks gloomy. It looks like a death sentence to me right now. All right. So now sub-modality training, I'm seeing this PET scan. I'm seeing the look on my doctor's face. And now I'm going to just take that image and shrink it in my mind. Like I want to shrink it to the size of a coin and just toss it in a dustbin or throw it into a lake. That's one way of doing it. Or you can do another one. And this goes back to the older days when we all had televisions. Like when the picture went or the picture ended, the screen became black, gray, and then blank. You can also see that scary image of the PET scan, and in your mind, there's a black, gray, and then blank. And you immediately put a thought that, hey, I'm going to be fine. Or, hey, the next PET scan is going to be good. Or, hey, I'm going to meet someone who's going to heal me. Oh, there's an image, your image of God come in that help me. I know you're going to save me. So sub-modality training is taking that. Now, let's say I don't like a person. I don't like this particular person. Every time I think of the person, I feel angry. I feel hatred to that person. Okay? Again, that person, see the person in your mind, shrink him or her to a little coin or a little piece of whatever it is, toss it in a dustbin, throw it far into a lake, or like the screen just different colors, signal lost, gone. Immediately put a fresh picture. So the person now, I just see a beautiful sea and I'm calm. Or I just press my 2 fingers and I start to think of the things that make me feel good. It's very important to blank out the person, reduce them, shut them out, and immediately put something good into you. So the moment you've chucked the person out or shrunk the person, you can again press your 2 fingers or immediately fix like the ideal partner in your mind. Or, hey, that's just a PET scan. No paper can determine whether I live or die. You can put your God, your spiritual power, whatever it is that replaces that image from one of negative and fear to something of positive and calm. This is also an extremely, extremely powerful exercise. You can also use it when you're struggling with forgiveness of someone. Sometimes we're too angry to forgive. It's okay. Every time that person pops up, reduce them to a little bit of, whatever it is, you can reduce them to a dust particle, okay, and imagine them being vacuumed away into a vacuum cleaner. That's up to you. You get creative right now, okay? I don't even know where that came from, by the way, but yeah, you can just toss it in the dustbin as well. Anyway, so this is how you do that particular exercise. This is also extremely powerful. And see how we linked it with anchoring. The moment I want a calm picture, I'll press these two fingers. Subconscious mind will mostly throw up what you really want to see based on what you programmed it with, all the things and people and things that make you feel good. Next slide, please. Okay, so we replace it with a calm image. You can replace it with your family around you, motivating you, your child with you, saying, I love you, whatever it is, up to you. Repetition, repetition, repetition. If no image appears, work with the feeling itself. That, hey, I'm just feeling calm. I chucked it in the dustbin, I feel calm. You can chuck it in the dustbin and give a sigh of relief, like, so that you can even work with feeling. That's important. Next slide, please. And we come to the last technique. Okay, a lot of people like to do this. It's optional. Okay, the purpose, gently challenge denial by opening space for self-reflection. Okay, a lot of people do this. A lot of people prefer the previous ones. Let's move to the next slide, please. So for example, your inner voice, fear, this can't be happening. I don't need treatment. You want to self-reflect. What makes me feel this isn't real? How can I feel this isn't real? It is real. Self-reflect. These reality clarifying questions help you find strength. You can ask yourself, what is it that I'm really most afraid of? I'm afraid of dying? Or is it am I afraid of what people will think? I'm afraid of losing my hair. I'm afraid of what my children may say, what my social group may say. Actually ask yourself what your real fears are. When I do this with my clients, most people don't even know what their real fears are. Because when you self-reflect, this is how we're now giving birth to strength, when we're actually aware of the real fear. Okay, today's going to be a crazy day. I have my chemo, I have all of these things happening. Simple. What's one part of this day that I can face today? Break it down. Self-reflection is extremely important. Softer prompts. What's the hardest part of this for me? You got diagnosed today. What's the hardest part? Is it financial? Is it emotional? Whatever it is, you need to know the truth about yourself and your feelings first. Then you can reframe it into micro steps. Okay, it's tough, but I'm looking forward to my meeting with my doctor, because more information, more clarity, lesser fear. I'm looking forward to my meeting with my nutritionist. I'm going to understand what foods there are to make me feel better, the foods that can help me grow my hair. Slowly you start getting a little bit of strength and confidence, because guess what? More information and more knowledge dissolves fear. A state of fear is a lack of understanding information, because we're only in emotions. The moment you bring logic, reality that, hey, your fear is wrong. This new chemo has no side effects. You're talking about your friend went through that chemo. You're not getting that chemo. You're getting a new one. And immediately you feel amazing because you got knowledge, clarity, right? So these are little prompts that you can do. Self-reflection. Be honest with yourself. You may wear masks with other people. Maybe you need to be strong in front of your child. Maybe you need to be strong in front of your husband or your wife. Doesn't matter. Those are the masks you can continue to wear. But I need you to be honest with yourself so you can process and select the right actions that you can influence to feel better. Next slide, please. So we've come to the end of this. Before we open it up for question and answers, this is just a simple practice plan. I just believe that you should do it when you want to, as often as you can, because everything in the subconscious mind works on repetition, 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 repetition. Again, multiplication tables. How many of you can I wake up in the middle of the night and ask you 5 times 10, 3 times 4? You will not have to think about it. Why? It's in your subconscious mind. How did it get into your subconscious mind? Repetition, 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 and repetition. The new age kids today don't learn multiplication tables that way. And that's why you can ask them and they won't know it, because it's not in their subconscious mind. So that's another example. So you can do some in the morning, afternoon, evening, anytime. These tools work best for you when you're taking the right treatment with the right lifestyle changes. Next slide, please. The final thought: acceptance doesn't mean you stop fighting. It doesn't mean you become a doormat and a slave to the treatment, to the diagnosis, and the prognosis. Remember, your diagnosis is only a diagnosis. It's never the end of a story. You get to write your prognosis. And that's the last exercise I'm leaving you with. Today, your doctor gave you the prognosis that, hey, you're going to go through 6 months of cycles of chemo, then radiation, then this, and that's going to happen. That's fine. Now you go home and you write your prognosis that through this treatment, I'm going to feel great. My hair's going to be strong. If I lose my hair, it's going to grow back quickly. My gut's going to be strong. I'm going to be able to digest food, my taste. I want you to write the prognosis that you want. Because when you do that, you're putting that seed in your subconscious mind, which is overriding the prognosis of your doctor. Your doctor is giving you a prognosis based on his or her skill set, science, medicine, limitations, and it ends there. Your prognosis that you write will have emotion, feeling, hope, desire, miracles, faith, strength. It'll have a lot more that you put into the prognosis, and then you surrender it. And you only focus on the one thing that you're in control, the actions that you should be taking. So we can now open it up for question and answers. Everyone, I wanted to explain all of this to you because it is so amazing how it works when you actually put it into practice. Too many of us are living as slaves to fear. We've made the verdicts in our minds based on fear. We've made illusions of disaster in our mind. My question to you right now, if you've done that, is, do you have any proof of what's going to happen with your fears and stories that you built in your mind? And you don't have any. I'm going to ask you, are all of your fears facts? Your answer is going to be, no, they're not facts, Luke. It's just going to happen. If it's not a fact, it's not real. If it's not real, it doesn't deserve your attention and your energy. Wrong energy can make you sick, and the right energy can heal you. You want your immune system to have all the energy during your treatment. Do not waste it on uncertainty. Do not waste it on things and people you cannot control. Do not waste it on fueling fear, on fueling anxiety. The one question you need to ask yourself, will any amount of worrying, fear, solve any problem that you have in your life right now? And you know it right now. The answer is no. So with mindful practice, when we get fearful and anxious, we use these techniques to come back to the present moment and replace it with something positive and train your subconscious mind for the outcome that you want. I hope everyone gets the outcome that they want. But remember, uncertainty is real. Embrace it. If your faith is written, if my faith is written, there's nothing we can do. And we don't even know if it's written. So we might as well move forward one positive step at a time, using these tools to help us feel better about ourselves. It's now open for question and answers. Team, if you can take a couple and read them out to me, please.
Sure, Luke. So the first one comes from Sonia. She asks, I was following a good and healthy lifestyle, eating right, exercise, ate early, slept early, and all. But it happened, thyroid. And now I've lost the trust in following the order and following all these things. That's her
All right,
question.
I understand where you come from. You've lost trust because you're still holding on to a mindset of how could this happen to me? Well, Soumya, things can happen to anyone. There's no reason a newborn baby should be born with a tennis-sized tumor in their brain. There are no reasons for many things. Humanity has programmed all of us to believe that we should have a reason for everything. Like when someone meets with an accident, everyone wants to know what caused the accident. That's how the human mind is. We need justification of a cause of something that is deadly. That's how we're all programmed. We need to know, oh, they got divorced. What happened? Who did what? The human mind needs to put a complete picture to give us a little bit of peace. So when we don't get that understanding of why something happened to us, we're holding on to a mindset that, how could it happen to me? Now I've lost all trust, whether it's God, whether it's my treatment, whether it's life. You've given up. It's okay. It's a part of denial. But I'm just hoping that everything that I taught you today just teaches you one thing, that anything can happen to anyone. None of us are entitled to anything. We think we're entitled, and we can wish and intend that because we work out, because we sleep, because we eat well, nothing bad happens to us. We can only intend for that, but we cannot control the outcome of what happens to us. So I really, really hope that you now shift and move from that mindset, because by you giving up, is it serving you? Is it helping you in any way? You know the answer is no. So I slowly, over time, I want you to move that energy back into, hey, it's happened. What am I learning out of this? What can I learn out of this? Let's start moving towards looking at what the possibilities are if I move into that state of acceptance. So it's very normal for you to feel that way. But now it's time that you move away from that mindset. Our mindsets can be very, very limiting. I'll give you another example of a patient. Luke, I've prayed to God all my life. Where is God right now? I don't have an answer. I don't have an answer for that. No one has an answer for that. No spiritual leader will have an answer for that. But we have to trust the process of life. And just because we've prayed to God doesn't mean that we shouldn't go through hardships. Sometimes the most innocent people and the best people go through the worst in life. The most honest person will get cheated on in a relationship. The most kindest person will be dealt with betrayal. All these things happen. We will never know why. I don't want to blame it on karma and all of these things because I don't like talking about things that we're not sure of. But we have to trust the process of life and ask ourselves that one question. Is my current state serving me and helping me? Is it getting me anything? And the answer is no. So maybe I need to trust the process of life and start taking a step in a different direction and see how that turns out for me. So I really hope that you move in that direction, and I wish you all the luck and all the healing. Next question, please.
Look, we have quite a few questions regarding fear of the pain during cancer treatment, fear of being dependent at a very young age.
So I think most of these exercises that we've spoken, these are all valid fears. We'll now take care of it, right? Of course, anyone will be, what is my deepest fear? My deepest fear is always I have a daughter and what will happen? It's always there, but I immediately replace the fear that, listen, I can't go through life thinking this and maybe manifesting it. I trust the process of life. I look around, I believe in miracles, I believe in randomness, I believe in God, I believe in all of these things, and I surrender that. I put my faith in that because I'm not in control. As much as I want to be in control, I'm not in control. And the sooner we all make peace with that, then we can only focus on our actions. So, yes, if I was in a particular situation right now, going through the fear, I have young ones, I would just spend all the time I can with them. Not because, oh no, when am I going to die? Because it's important. There are people without cancer who don't spend enough of time with their children because they've given too much of their life to work and to other things that they've chosen that over their families. They're in the same situation with a different context. So we just start spending more and more time with our loved ones, irrespective if we have a cancer or not. We start living life more in a more meaningful way, more fulfilling way. So our regrets over time reduce more and more. But all of these fears come from uncertainty and they are all real. I want you to honor them, accept them, but now move away from that because we like to think we're in control. And now we're all feeling out of control. And that's why the fear is growing more and more. Next question, please.
We have a couple of questions about, in spite of using all the techniques that were discussed today, when reality is showing a different side, it's different. How do they cope with that?
You practice it and you do it again and again and again. It's as simple as that. There is no emotional mattress over here. It's like you want to achieve something, you practice it and you do it. It's not like when you press your fingers, the pain's going to go. I told you that. Your subconscious mind works for you or it works against you. Some people give up without trying. Some people give up in between. Some people don't give up no matter what. Everyone is different. Again, if we go into expectation that I'm going to do Luke's 5 techniques and my pain is going to disappear and nothing's going to happen, you're already wrong. You're feeling entitled. These are techniques to help you. And the more you practice it, the more it'll work. Because let me tell you something. If it didn't work, every cancer patient would have the same outcome. But I see patients every day. Some of them are having beautiful outcomes, and some of them have horrible outcomes. The point is, what are people doing differently? They're getting the same chemotherapy, same stage of cancer, different outcomes. Some are eating differently, some are sleeping differently. The outcomes of the most positive cases are the people who are thinking differently, who are accepting it and are going through it. So, yeah, we can already put the obstacle in our mind that, yeah, but what if it doesn't happen? And all I'm going to ask you is, but what if it does happen? Now you get to choose. You get to choose. And that's why practice, 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 faith and belief. You want to believe the verdict of the PET scan? Or do you want to believe that there are forces more powerful than a piece of paper? It's your choice. I'm not going to ask you to choose either. I'm leaving you with a choice like every human happens. You can put all your energy and faith in a piece of paper, which has told many people that they'll die in 2 weeks and 4 weeks, but they're living for 15, 16, and 18 years. Now you choose where you want to put your faith, your belief, and your energy. So, of course, it's difficult. Of course, it's difficult. But each time you get knocked down, you have to stand up again, over and over again. And I will be honest with you. I also have patients who come in 70 years, 75. Luke, I am ready to die. I don't want to live anymore. Please tell my family to let it be. It's okay. I don't want to take the treatment. It's not going to help me. It's going to cause me side effects. I'm ready to die. I've led a great life. Please tell my family, Luke. And the family is expecting me to counsel it. What do I tell them? I tell them exactly what the patient wants. Now, if a patient has given up in their mind, it's my job to counsel them. But if a patient has decided that, hey, it's okay, I've lived a great life. I don't want to go through chemo. I don't want to become a burden to anyone. I don't want to destroy my body with chemo. It's my choice. Of course, the family is going to want the best for their parents or the grandfather or the grandmother. Everyone gets to make a choice. My point was the choice coming from a space of fear, or was the choice coming from a space of self-compassion? There's a big difference. I chose to support those patients because their choice is coming from a space of self-compassion. If it's coming from fear, no, Luke, I'm so scared. What's going to happen? I may never walk again. My job to counsel them, help them. The doctor's job, counsel them, help them. No, it can. There's treatment, there's therapy. You can get better. You can do rehab. We all get to make a choice, but too many of us have already planted the seeds of failure, disbelief, and mistrust before it's even started. So you go on practicing these things. Every human wants, but Luke, if I do this, will I get this? I don't know. It's uncertain. Luke, if I meditate, will I find my calm and peace? I don't know. Meditate and find out. Because we all want a return for something that we want to put in effort. As you move into the next spiritual dimension of life, you will understand a law of least effort and maximum gain. What does that mean? When we're in a state of least resistance and we're in a state of flow, okay, chemo, let's take it. This, I need to eat this, let's eat this. I'm in a state of flow. It has the maximum results and maximum gains. It is called the law of least effort, and it is applicable to every human being. But today we're all in a state of resistance because we have our egos and our prides. And how could it happen to me? My money can't buy me the best treatment. I went to Sloan's. I spent so much money, but my cancer came back again. Came back again. Let's move on. Let's look at it differently. What can we do now? Is the only way forward. So disease and life, in a way, has to humble all of us and strip away this feeling of entitlement, because none of us are entitled to anything or at all. None of us. We are only in control of the actions we can influence. And we can pray, and we can intend, and we can hope. That's all you're in control of. So I recommend that we continue with these little practices if they serve you. Some people, like I said, that 69-year-old guy is not doing any of these techniques because he's mastered the most powerful technique. I've just surrendered my body and my disease to God. I just want to go to work and continue to live. If you can reach that state, this is nothing in front of the divine power, all of these techniques. But for some people, that's not a choice. Some people don't believe in that. These are stepping stones to eventually getting you to a state of complete acceptance and surrender and only controlling your actions. We take one last question, please.
Sure. So this has to do with controlling cravings for certain foods that have been, advised against after chemotherapy treatment. How to control the cravings with?
That's an irrelevant question for today's session, but I'll still go ahead and answer it. Okay. So if you're not supposed to eat a particular food and you want to eat it, just remember your why. Okay. If your why is so powerful that you want to heal, it will win over that craving food. Now, once in a way, you crave a particular piece of food, a slice of chocolate cake is not going to kill you. But if the craving's becoming more and more and you need to now bring in that discipline and consistency, just remind yourself of your why. Is that piece of cake more valuable than your healing? Again, it's working with your mind, sub-modality, self-reflection. That's how you get out of it, because you can't use willpower. And sometimes just go ahead and eat it and say, hey, it's one piece of cake. I'm just going to give into it and get back on track. That's how we handle it. Most of us fail because our why is not strong enough. And we do not remind ourselves of how strong and valuable our why is. So when a lot of patients come to me, I ask them the first question, why do you want to get better? Because I want them to have that purpose, which is so much bigger than their disease. So I can reconnect them back to that purpose. Yeah, why do you want to live longer, man? You're already like 52. And they're like, no, Luke, I love life. I love my children. Great. Now we're getting somewhere. When the human mind has a powerful why or purpose, everything else falls in place. When it has nothing, we give up. That's how it works. Thank you, everyone, for your time. I hope you have a night of great sleep, and I hope you put this to practice, and I hope it's helped you in different ways. Thank you.